Okay. Says I'm online. YouTube's Twitch. Let's see. All right. It says we're good to go. All right. Let's see who gets in here. There we go. Now we're live. What's happening, people? Morning, Barton. Beep, beep. What's happening, Eli? Just double checking some things real quick. What do you guys think of the show? OG in the house. It was a very quick one today. Under 4 hours. It was like 3. Let's take a look in the chat. 3:40 something. I think it even ended quicker than what it said it ended at too. So it said 3:42, but it was like 3:30 because I was messing with stuff for the one shot and it just ended like 10 minutes before I thought it would. So, dude, combat was great. Combat was fantastic. There you go, Crixie. Yeah, 3:45. But hey, that means people get to show up that normally don't get to. All right, good. We are going on all cylinders now. But yeah, no, the combat was fantastic. I think Laudna's stuff was the best part about it. I thought her got a little insight into what's going on with her. There we go. Now we're running, I think. They were in a spot as the diving further would go a lot longer. Yeah, that's what it sounded like. Matt was saying, but that's never stopped him before. Like, I felt like there was tons of places that they normally should stop at, but they keep going for another hour. So, I mean, if he knows better than we do. If he feels like it was a good spot to stop, then it was a good spot to stop. Yeah, the new crew finally killed something. What's up, dealing with fiction, man? Been a minute since we saw you. So first and foremost, 1K subscribers. I appreciate it, fellas. Appreciate the support, ladies and gentlemen and others. Dude, this mic. There we go. That's right, O-Dog. Yeah, dude, what is up with Imogen's blue skin? I was not, is that from the stone, the little Fey Touch stone thing? I feel like the robbery and the aftermath will take 5-hour minimum. Okay, do you think they're ready to go into the robbery already? Is that what it is? I need to move this over. I need to bring the chat up over here. Swap sides in the future. Oh, Wild Magic Surge? That was probably it. Does it say she's a wild mage? Did she just get that? That's a level 3 thing, right? I love the wild magic table. So I'm actually considering giving my party a wild magic like wand or something. Something that just triggers like that, has the same type of table, just for fun. We don't have a sorcerer, so or did the stone the stone yeah, that's right. The stone is a stone of like wild magic. That's what it is. Yeah, perfect. All right, now I'm remembering from last week. Okay, the planning's part of that. That makes sense. I mean, it's, you got your 5-hour shows and you got your 4-hour shows. It's weird how different that feels. Like 342 feels so much shorter. Like, and then the 5.5-hour ones feel like way, way longer. But See, that's why I need you guys, chat. Yeah, the table you roll on using a D100. I've done it before. I think it's super fun. Like the stuff that can happen on there, you can, the whole party ends up flying, or everyone takes a bunch of hit points, or everything's rough terrain for a little bit. I could pull one up probably if you guys wanted to see it. In second edition, you could play a wild magic mage. Nice. I have not looked at any of the editions before 3.5. So any information you got there, please do not hesitate to bestow it upon us, OG. Yeah, I mean, you can play wild mage in 5e, and it's a lot of fun. She's blue because she is cursed. She will stay blue until someone uncurses her. So I think FCG had the right idea of the spell he was going to cast. I thought they just took a long rest, though, so I figured he had it. But the minor, what was he going to cast? But she gets to choose if to roll on Wild Magic Table or not. And the second edition, they get to choose. Because in the 5th edition, the DM gets to choose. It's not a curse, it's a magic effect, and a high-level magic. High-level magic can pull it off. So if it's not a curse, would that be like Dispel Magic? Would that take care of it? But with the pre-Calamity Stone, she's now on top of the Diamond Wild Magic Glass, and Gnarl Stone, not sure what could happen. Did we find out what that big elf thing, or pre-Calamity... Yeah, that's right. That's what you're talking about, the pre-Calamity Stone. We have no idea what that is, though, right? Other than what Matt gave us when describing it. Still have a second edition player's handbook somewhere around here. That'd be fun later on if we did like a second edition or something gameplay just for fun. Minor restoration, thank you. Bidet Ellie, beep beep. I know the item gives her to roll. Okay, so she gets to roll on the Wild Magic Table. I wasn't paying attention. I wasn't looking at it whenever that happened. Did Matt tell her to roll, or is it just whenever she casts a spell, she rolls? Or she just decides when it happens? All right. Orc/elf pre-calamity junk. That's all we know. Yeah, so I thought there was some interesting stuff, but nothing like mind-blowing in this episode. So that'll be weird. I didn't see a lot for like my clips and stuff, so I wasn't super happy about that. I was like, I don't really see a lot of good highlights. I wrote down a bunch of stuff, but I don't know. We'll see how it goes. But I feel like the next episode's going to be big. But next episode's EXU, right? Next week's EXU. What's up, Mike V? We pretty much got everyone in here that's doing the one shot, right? If you're doing the one shot and you're not in here, say something. Looking fiction. I wondering if the half elf, half orc dude they meet at the end can probably tell them about the conduit and the stone. It's possible. Hype to rob Vegan Gilmore. Oh man, were you getting Gilmore vibes there? I was getting the vibes from the dude in the fire planes from campaign 1, like in the 70-ish episodes, when they go to the fire plane. That's the guy that kind of walked them in chains around town to get to the fire giant, if you remember that. Those were the vibes I was getting. Yeah, 2 days of EXU. So next Thursday's EXU, and then next Friday is EXU as well. Fern had some good lines. Yeah, I mean, she always does. I'll have to go back and re-listen to them, I guess. The Dr. Pimple Popper stuff was kind of gross, but might be worth doing. Let me see what else I wrote down. Um, the titty tassels. I think the titty tassels has to happen. I think that was probably the only part I was really laughing at on this episode was the titty tassels. And then did anyone catch? Because I didn't see chat talking about it. What was on the drinking can? I saw facts, and then I couldn't read what it was under it. So Sam's drinking can. There's something that happened like 30 minutes in too that was kind of funny. I don't remember exactly what it was. Yeah, Marisha almost got to roll another character. That's what it was, and she said, "Not again." I thought that was just such a perfect line. Like, yeah. So there was some mildly interesting spots. I mean, it kept me interested the whole time. Combat was fantastic. What's up, John A. Douglas? This episode was just what I needed. When they do an episode of just role playing, it feels like less like D&D and more like 4 hours of improv theater. And they are very RP heavy, which can be refreshing for a lot of people, but it's just because they're actors and they like improv and they're really good at it. I've enjoyed it because as a player, it gets me more into the role-playing aspect, coming from a lot of video games where I like to do a lot of combat. But yeah, no, this is the normal balance, I would say, that a lot of DMs try to go for. Half combat, half RP. Go a little heavier on combat if last session was heavier on role-playing. So build a nice, strong boss fight. Beautiful scenery, man. That stuff, that was Dwarven Forge stuff they from one of their newer sets. That battle map was awesome. That was so good. So yeah, I'm with you, John. I think that was refreshing. It was needed. Last week's was long too. Last couple weeks were long. Oh, Crixie. Okay, hot take. The combat in Critical Role is met. What's good combat? You're gonna let's hope you like the one shot combat, man. Combat for level 3 stuff isn't too good. What level are they? Level 4 now? It's really tough to make interesting combat for low levels unless you're using a lot of moving terrain and stuff. Eli in the City of Brass. Yeah, in the City of Brass. You know the guy I'm talking about. I don't remember his name. Imogen is definitely on the path to becoming a very powerful mage, yes. Fire, magic, and lightning. Now she's got this mystique thing going on. Yeah, I feel like she's going to end up being the most powerful. I feel like she's going to be the most powerful. Because wizards usually, like sorcerers and wizards and stuff usually are. But she seems like she's on the path to being the most powerful. Imogen is a one-woman X-Men team. Yeah, for sure. You had Nightcrawler aspects. You had Mystique aspects. Jean Grey aspects. It's fantastic. I missed what was on Sam's drink. Anyone catch it? Yeah, I missed it too. The combat can be messed sometimes, and I'll kind of only half pay attention. Yeah, like I thought this was one of the better ones, but there have definitely been a few that I didn't care for, especially the early ones. Sam's drink, Exandria's flat, something I didn't see. Red Moon is 5 gold. I mean, he's not wrong. Exandria's flat. Ellie. I couldn't read Sam's can either. I'll do a screenshot of it and post it later on. Yeah, he didn't show long. Then we brought it back out. He turned it to the side for Marisha and Travis. Sam's can. All right, here we go, dog. Facts. Exandria is flat. Seder knees are backwards. Rita Swankel's 5 gold. I love the Seder knees are backwards. I think it's my favorite, one of my favorite discussions they have, low key. Campaign 3 has been very RP heavy, yes. More so than I think previous campaigns. It's been really slow going, John, but not in a bad way. I've really enjoyed it. I think it's a refreshing pace compared to before. They spent so much time in the one city and let it breathe, but I need a payoff for it. Like, you're going to spend 17 episodes in a city. We need to go back, and it needs to have a payoff. Like, there needs to be a big threat there or something. Like, I hope we're going back and all that let me care about this place is paid off. I wonder what would happen if they pulled the stone from Ashton's head and combined it with the Gnarl Stone. I'm up for that. Yeah, Plant Creature was awesome. OG using lit. I like it. Okay, they're level 5 now. Current level 5, nice. Man, this thing is so laggy. Yeah, fifth level combat can be all right. I mean, there's only so much you can throw at them. There's only so much they can do. Once you get to like 10th level, that's what I really think combat picks up at 10. Although I like being in combat, I'm just saying Critical Role strong suit is not combat. No argument here. That's not really a Marty opinion. I've heard DM say it's Matt's weakest element. But who does good combat? Like, I only watch a few different streams, and most of them are RP heavy. I don't see a lot of good combat streams. Like, I bet Joe Mange. I bet he does it. Joe Manganiello. Right, is that how you say his last name? I bet he does good combat. Like, but he doesn't stream his, and I wish he would. Yeah, the twin spell and catapult caught him by surprise. Twin spell's so strong, man. Ellie, someone needs to teach the cast basic animal biology. Animals' knees don't go backwards. That's part of the leg corresponding to the heel. It's frustrating me. Yeah, let's see Matt go on start preaching about that. He's preaching about alpha mentality. Let's go with the knees, buddy, or the lack thereof. It's just a bend. Thank you, Ellie. Really should be talking about how Fern's pupils are square, not her knees. Are her pupils square? Laura's rule lawyered Matt with that. Yeah. "5G is like 5G in our world." I don't get what you mean, Mike. That was a good move by Laura. Yeah, it was great. She's getting better and better. I'm liking her more and more in this campaign. Laura, of course, had my favorite character last campaign, and middle of the pack first campaign. So I'm liking Imogen more and more. Dimension 20. All right, I'll have to check that one out. I don't know who runs that one. I'll check out their combat, because that's something I can do better with as combat. So I could learn a thing or two by watching it. I've been stealing a lot from video games, though. I think there's some really good combat video games that you can turn into D&D. I did one where we fought a blind dragon. Did I tell you guys about that one? We fought a blind dragon, and you had to make noises, and that was from World of Warcraft. So I have a really good combat idea for one of our big bosses in my main campaign, but I don't know. I'm not sure how it'll come out. You've been fighting demons in your campaign since level 3. Is that the main big bad evil guy? The whole the main theme? Like, are you guys fighting them in the material plane? Barton? I agree combat is not their strong suit, especially with this group. Each of them have magical abilities. They can complement each other or possibly create a combined attack. Yeah, they haven't done a ton of teamwork on this one, and they've done it in the past, but I would definitely like to see some more teamwork. But they haven't been a team for very long, so I think good combat means it moves at a good pace. They take forever, it feels like. Combat usually does. Like, combat always takes longer than it should, I feel like. Like, you only get a couple rounds and it's been an hour. It kind of feels bad. How would you speed up combat? So we tried a timer system, but even then it went super slow. Even if the players did it right, there's always questions that pop up. Can I do this? What about this? You have to change what you're doing once the person in front of you does something similar. So how would you speed up combat for them? They're not square. They're worse. They're rectangles. Man, is it Janello or Manganello? I'm gonna say Ja, but Manganello. Either way, I love him. I think he's great. Lots of animals have strange shaped pupils other than circles. You know, I don't think I've ever noticed an animal with non-circle pupils that, or like a cat maybe. Cat or snake. Like that little, is that an ellipse? I don't know what you call that. Most few creatures have weird shaped eyes, some square, some diamond, etc. Fey. Combat is made more fun with homebrew. I agree with that, Charles. Charles Cochran. Nice. Yeah, dude, I'm with you. I think combat is definitely made more fun with homebrew. I like to do that. I like to do layered actions too, where you can stack your attack with somebody else's. I have a couple different homebrews that I think are good. I think a lot of people said 3.5 had very, very strong combat compared to 5e. Jester's one of the all-time GOATs. Yes, 100%. From episode 93, The Hag, onward, she was... Dude, I loved her from episode 1. Like, I love the chaos, though. I like the chaotic characters. That's why I love Fern in this one. So, it's... but yeah, episode 93, if you haven't seen it, it's... I mean, it's got to be in contention for the best moment in Critical Role history. Just, yeah, it's great. But I won't talk about it for those who haven't watched it yet. Let's face it, D&D combat was anything like anime combat. I mean, you could make it that way. Fighting demons in the material plane. Okay, so you're just kind of sending them back to their plane. I mean, you got to be heading to demons aren't... So devils are the 9 hells. Demons are... What? OG, let me know. Where are the demons from in D&D? The Abyss? Is it the Abyss? I think it's the Abyss. They do speak Abyssal. So, look at Campaign 1. Their first combat was erratic and sloppy, but by episode 65, there was smoother and worked better. Yeah, I completely agree. I'm at 82 right now, and it's much smoother, much better. Figuring out, because you got to figure out your character, but then you also have to figure out your combat and grow into that. So, reminding your players to think about what they want to do between turns and actually reading their abilities to do. Yeah, that's completely agree. Combat can take forever, especially if the creatures you're fighting has like a power source, like an amulet familiar. So what I do as a DM is I try to reduce the amount of creatures you're fighting until you get like big AoE spells. But then they have to be like strong with counter spells and stuff, because if you hold person on a creature, that destroys the whole entire combat. Look up at images of goat eyes. All right, let's look it up. Goat eyes. I owned a goat. How do I not know this? Yeah, that's true. Man, how do I not remember that? I had a goat. His name was Nibbles. He was awesome. Looked just like this, but gray. Let me bring it over. Yeah, dude, I totally forgot about the goats, man. That's kind of creepy. That had that kind of goat right there. Name was Nibbles. He was awesome. Horses too? I've never looked at frog's eyes. All right, let's look up horses. The space helps. Yep, horses too. Look at that. You'd think you notice that with the ooh, that's a gross one. With how big their eyes are. I've met a lot of horses in my day. Man, never even thought about all this. This is blowing my mind. That one's got some circles. Sure enough. Look at that. All right, you guys are right. The Abyss. Thank you. I thought so. I figured it out. When Google Animal People shapes, you see tons of examples. Actually, arcane spells all unintentionally summon the demons, so can't cast big spells at them. That's kind of cool. I like that. That's a cool twist, man. DM on the fly, loose with the rules. Yeah, I was really, really loose with the rules early on just because I didn't know them. Like, I started DMing. I played like 2 or 3 sessions before I had to start DMing, so I barely knew anything. You guys might catch it. So since we got 12 people here, so Sunday at 8:30, we're doing our first one shot with people from the stream, an interactive one shot. So if you show up, you can kind of help me DM. I'll let you roll for damage and stuff like that. But sorry. But yeah, so you guys may end up calling me out on a few different things, but I think I got my rules down decently. There's just so many of them, man. Campaign 2 MVP was Caduceus, and isn't even close. Not only did he have the best mic drop moment of the campaign, he pulled out of the fire more than one. Yeah, he actually healed John. Like, he actually healed him up. It did what Jester was supposed to be doing. Combat MVP 100%. I don't remember what mic drop moment you're talking about just from that. I didn't love either of Talison's characters in that campaign. I liked them fine. They seemed like they had a lot of flavor and stuff, but he was definitely really good. I mean, how many crits did he stop from happening? Like, that dude just shut down critical hits, which is huge. Like, you can straight up kill somebody's character with the critical hit, just dead, no saving throws, nothing. So that, I mean, he saved a lot of people from dying. It did. You could stack physical abilities and spell abilities depending on initiative. Yeah, see, I try to put that into my combat. Yeah, Allie's right. Caduceus was by far the biggest team player. The other thing in combat, sometimes players forget to hold their turn to let their abilities stack. Yeah, most people are just trying to figure out what they want to do in the moment. But every once in a while you get people who want to work together. I always try, when I do get to play, I always try to make my character alongside somebody else's so we just naturally play with each other. That doesn't sound good. We naturally play off of each other. Is that better? Cuttlefish have eyes like the letter W? Cuttlefish. All right, let's look up cuttlefish. You got cuttlefish or vanilla paste? Vanilla paste, vanilla paste. There it was. Dude, that's weird. Sure enough, there's a cuttlefish. Good call, Kinsey. Where'd you figure that? Did you know that already, or were you just looking through different animal eyes? Also, there is a zero animal that exists with 4 legs and wings. 0 animals that exist with 4 legs and wings. Yeah, no argument here. Because yeah, bats would be arms, right? They have little arms that wings are attached to. Flying squirrels don't really have wings. They're pretty awesome though. 5G that Sam had on his can tonight didn't mean 5 gold. It meant 5G like internet service. Oh, I gotcha. Charles, I'm an old school, played since I was 5. Nice. Something I have learned is the rules. The rules are the guide to the game. If it slows stuff down, trimmed it. Yeah, it's like the pirate code. It's more of guidelines anyway. But there are animals with 0 legs and has wings. What's an animal with 0 legs and wings? Kenzie, I'm just really into cuttlefish. Another cuttlefish fact, they can camouflage the left and right half of their bodies differently at the same time. That is very interesting. The octopus is also very resilient and can do some really cool stuff. But yeah, Kenzie, hit us up with more cuttlefish facts. Heck, we can just do the whole thing on cuttlefish. You guys want to do the whole show on cuttlefish? Flying fish, yeah, for sure. Have you ever seen a flying fish? I have. There was a flying fish sanctuary outside of my house on one of the places I was stationed. Charles, thanks for the arg. Arg! I will do I like to do pirate and nautical campaigns too, and they're fun. Actually, my favorite section of campaign 2 was them at sea. I thought that was the best. I thought it was unique and had focus, and you could actually railroad a little bit, so things happened. I like pace, man. I like when things happen. That's my one critique of Critical Role is you could tell the story in a shorter period of time and not miss anything. So I could do with less episodes, more story, less episodes, and then jump to another campaign like that. And that's just me. Some people like it differently. Like so far, I've loved the exploration of this campaign. They could have got to this point 2-3 episodes ago, and I would have been totally fine. So they have a tail. True. Fish have no legs. Some fish have legs. There are fish with legs. Cuttlefish, is that a Liam O'Brien reference? I don't get it, dealing. What you mean, man? Flying fish have glide wings. I mean, if flying fish, well, no. I mean, they actually flap their wings. I think they have their wings are different than flying squirrels, right? Sorry, let me read the whole thing. Flying fish have glide wings, but they are wings, even though, like flying squirrels, they actually glide, not fly. Oh, dang, here's another cuttlefish fact. Love it. Bring it on. They have 2 super long tentacles that they use to hunt, but they usually keep them tucked away. Used to hunt like as in weapons, or like as in feeling around for stuff like antennas. What's the Talks Machina reference? I missed that. I must have missed that Talks Machina. That's one thing. I started watching that later, so I haven't seen all of those. Have not seen all of them. All right, we got some new viewers. What's up, new viewers? Man, this is a low traffic day. We're usually around like 20. Oh, that's the Cuttlefish voice. Okay, I do remember that. I have no idea what it sounds like. I totally forgot. I do remember him doing the voice, though. And I thought it was very squeaky and high-pitched, if I remember correctly. Why does the show saying episode 118... They're on hurries? Because I was in a hurry, and I'll edit that right now. I didn't even know that. They shoot their tentacles out real fast to grab a fish or whatever. They cram it in their mouth. It's like a frog tongue kind of situation. Is there any good documentaries on cuttlefish? Dude, I just watched that documentary on this dude who spends a certain amount of days, and he goes to the same spot in the ocean over and over again until he finds this octopus. He wasn't looking for it, but just found it and kind of followed it around. And, man, I can't think of the name of it, but it's a really good documentary. Very fascinating, very enlightening. All right. Let's change the title. Show enough. You are right. Episode 18. Update all. Maybe that's why we're having such a low traffic day today. All right, it is fixed. Thank you, Christina. Much appreciated, Christina. For those of you new here, I just hit 1,000 subscribers today, so I'm super, super excited, super happy. We're going to celebrate with a one-shot on Sunday, our first ever one-shot. And for those of you who I'm going to send some, I want to do a giveaway, some dice giveaway. So I was hoping we get to 20 so I could just roll a d20 and pick someone from the chat to send it to. Maybe I'll do it on the one shot instead. What do you guys think? Anyone here want some dice? I'm going to send them some dice. Want to be nice. Send some stuff out. Learn a lot from David Attenborough. Nice. I don't remember which films. I'm going to look up that film. So, it is called My Octopus Teacher. Really, really good. It's not Cuttlefish, I know, but I think you might appreciate it anyway. I mean, I'm not an octopus guy, but that was really, really cool video or documentary. All good, by the way. Talks Machina is Brian W. Foster's interviewing cast over recent events during past episodes. Yeah, Talks Machina is great. I've watched quite a few of them. I've not watched all of them. He's not doing them this year, though, right? Are they going to do Talks Machina this year with somebody else? Oh, they got 1 million people to do it. But he said he was pursuing other things, right? He's not working with them anymore. Glad I don't mind if you be celebrating with booze. Just make mine tea if you can. You know what? That's what I'd meant to bring in, my booze. But that's fine. It's fine. Honestly, giant cuttlefish is underused as a DM monster. Is there a DM monster called giant cuttlefish? I love all cephalopods. They're so weird and cool. Yeah, Brian left. I'm gonna look. Is there a giant cuttlefish? I really want you to be right on that and not joking around. There's giant octopus, giant squid. You know what? We are going to make a giant cuttlefish. I'm going to make a giant cuttlefish monster because I don't see it. Hey, we got one person with Twitch. Hey, hello, Twitch person. How are you doing today? Welcome to the chats. All right. Sorry, I got distracted. Okay, Brian left. Brian was Phosphorus fired. I didn't think he was fired, was he? Going to head out. Hey, see you later, Dealing with Fiction, if you didn't already leave. Good night. Hey, come join us Sunday if you have a chance. Sunday, 8:30 my time, so that's Pacific. Usually we do character creations, kind of helping newer players and just having fun, figuring out how to create like backstories and stuff for characters, for any players, really. But come join us. We're going to do our first one-shot. Going to be interactive, and five people from the chat are going to be in there. No more might join us as well if you guys are good with that. Might do 6 players, but 5 for sure. Unsure, and yes, Brian is now live streaming his gaming. Nice. What, Christina? What games does he live stream? I assume the new 4-sided dive is replacing talks. Gotcha. Okay, sweet. They did. I didn't watch the one today. They did one with Oculus Rifts, right? What was that? Did anyone watch that one with the VR stuff? I have an Oculus Rift. Super fun. They have Game Table on there now, which is fantastic and looks like it'd be a lot of fun. Brennan leave. He was forced to leave. Why was he forced to leave? I don't know if there is existing giant cuttlefish monsters, but Krakens are specific. Basically giant squid. Krakens are technically, like, I think the second strongest monster in D&D, maybe third. Krakens are super strong. 4-sided dive is a monthly recap, not weekly. Okay. Cuttlefish are more stealth, surprise hunters. So they're rogues. Cuttlefish are rogues. So if anyone runs like a rogue druid, then I'll let you transform into a cuttlefish. Creep them around, and then bam, snatch up by the tentacles. Crix's Twitter said he left because he wanted to not. He wanted to not because he was forced out. I don't know what you're saying. Head now. See you later, Mike. See you Sunday. Brian Foster was forced to leave. Go ask him on a Switch. Do we know why he was forced to leave, though? I don't do research. You guys can do that for me. You do that where? I do that here. On live stream. Then on Twitter, he signed an NDA and can't talk about it. Gotcha. Well, funny how wrong you are. Him and Ashley are together, right? Is that still a thing? Per Brian Foster's words, he chose to leave for other interests. See, that's what I thought I read too. As he said on his live stream. He may have just said that too, though. Live streams on Twitch, things like Cyberpunk and such. Cyberpunk is really cool. I didn't get to play it that much, but it's a good game. Crixie, I read that like your LLO false. I read that like Dwight Schrute. False. Brian Foster was forced to leave Critical Role. Facts. I can post a link in Discord where he literally says it's not the case. Well, have a good night, folks. See you later, Charles. Back to work for me. Good luck on Sunday. Oh, thanks. I'm sure it'll be fun. I'm very interested to see how it goes. Hopefully everyone's mics come through perfectly and all that. It's going to be weird seeing people role play with each other who've never really talked to each other much. I think 2 of us have talked in Discord. Might be a good thing to do. Might be good to get everyone in Discord to talk for a second. But the good thing is your characters won't know each other, so the awkwardness will be natural. Uh, then doesn't that break his NDA? Good question. He does everything but say it. He stops just short. All right, so as far as we know, he and Ashley are still together. Is there an NDA out on that? If you watch him say that in context, he was being extremely sarcastic. Right. So they're Tope Suicida. Got a critical role since midway through campaign 1. Hey, me too, Christina. And have watched every episode of all 3 campaigns. I have not. I stopped watching in the middle of 1 because I went back to catch up, and by the time I got midway through campaign 2 had started. So I kind of am catching up on campaign 1 right now. I've watched every episode of all 3 campaigns, one-shots, between the sheets, talks, etc. You could say I'm a critical. Hey, we support your addiction, Christina. You find no judgment here. What is your favorite one-shot? And what's your favorite, I don't want to say episode. What's your favorite moment, I guess? Favorite one-shot and then favorite moment in any of the campaigns. Crixie, I've never watched any Critical Role. It's too bad, man. You should try it out. It's pretty good. Pretty good show. I wouldn't mind doing a post-show stream from them or something. That'd be pretty cool. Yeah, it's a lot to watch. Do I have a donate button? That's a good question. I just applied for monetization, so I don't think that sets up, and I don't think I can set that up until then. But honestly, I don't even know where that would be yet. I'll look that up this week. I legit just hit 1K this morning, so everything is in process. So it's being reviewed as we speak. It says step 3 in progress. Get reviewed. So I know that's for like the ads and stuff, but I think I still have to be monetized to get donations. Appreciate you asking, though. I hope to get some donations and buy some more equipment. I think a camera is the next thing I'm going to buy. Camera and better lighting. All right, let's check to see if we... Hey, we still got a Twitch viewer. I don't see them chatting anything, though. So I don't know if their chats are coming through here. I have 2 moments that stuck with me. Sam and the Bard's Lament from Campaign 1. And Caleb's talk with parents at the end of Campaign 2. Yeah, Caleb's talk was really strong. Do you know what episode Sam and the Bard's Lament is? I don't know if maybe I haven't hit that yet. Or maybe I just don't know it by that title. For me, Campaign 1, I don't know why. When Sam, or when... Yeah, when he's looking for drugs, when he gets hooked on drugs, I don't know why that's so funny to me. Like, it shouldn't be. Like, it's not funny as a thing, but it's the way he does it is great. Like, I have, that's an issue with my family, actually, so not going to get in that. But I thought that was, when he's dealing with the spice and stuff, it's one of my favorite moments. Anyone picture Hartmore as all stilt houses like Louisiana? That's a good thought, Julian. I didn't picture it that way, but now they'd have to be, right? They'd have to be on stilts. They'd have to be raised up a certain amount. I would, what I'd prefer? I would like for him to put some of the houseboats in there, like the floating houses. I think that'd be really cool. If you ever been to Louisiana, Those are everywhere. Fan boats, they go to the little houseboat. And they're not really houseboats as much as houses on pontoons. Episode 85. Okay, I'm almost there then. I'm on episode 82, so don't tell me what it is. Episode 85. So, actually, no, I'm on episode 83. I finished episode 82 today, so I should hit 85 sometime this week. I kind of stopped to do work on our one-shot. All the maps are done. Transferred over to Roll20. By the way, if you're in here and you're doing the one-shot, sign up for Roll20, and then in Discord and a private message, send me your email so I can invite you. Jester Cupcake of Deliciousness. Yeah, Dust of Deliciousness is usually up there for one of the greatest moments. Head to bed, Ellie. All right, Ellie, we will see you Sunday. I'm sure I'll talk to you in Discord a few times, too. One shot would be Darrington Brigade. I can see that. I don't think I've ranked mine yet, but that's definitely up there. I'm thinking the Christmas one is the one that competes with it, but I don't know which one's better. Favorite episodes? It's rough, yeah. Sorry, there's a ton. Sucker for a Cry Fest. All right. Players speaking on backstory. Favorite characters are easier to choose. You can pick your favorite from each campaign if you want. Brian must not have seen the What's My Mother's Name episode. Nice. You have Roll20 already? Yeah, send me your email that you use for Roll20, and I will send you an invite to the campaign. Search for Grog was great. Sweet Topa, you got as well. I haven't accepted you on Discord? Not bad, man. I'll go ahead and post Discord, too, for anyone who wants to join up. All right, let me check. Not. Okay, friends. Pending. Oh, man. I missed a couple. That's on me. Accept. Are you Lion Salt? Man, I didn't. I feel like a jerk. I didn't accept Abby. Dude, that's just me being spacey. Abby, our big helper, man, and I didn't accept her in. All right, now we're accepted. Now we're good to go. Let me invite you guys to Roll20. I'm so sorry. Yeah, that's on me. That's my bad. Okay. That's not the right one. Or live text. There we go. All right, inviting people. I've already invited you guys. That's weird. Okay, sweet. All right, well, I accepted your group invite, and I will send you a Roll21 in a second. Let me catch up with the chat. That was well, nice. Have you seen the 12 episodes of the Vox Machina animated? Yeah, oh, for sure, Christina. They're so good. Let me finish what you're saying. Oh, my God. Brings Lana into light and the heartbreak. Dude, that little girl in that episode just... So I was doing the edit, so it's one of my most recent videos I posted. I posted it just like 4 days ago, I think. It was either Friday or Saturday. And so just doing that edit, I had to keep going over that same scene over again to match some of the sound and music and stuff up. And it wasn't a complex edit, but it broke my heart every time I watched it. Yeah, that's such a powerful scene. And so I put Laudna's audio from last week over that short clip. You should check it out. Actually, it's like a 30-second. No, that one's actually it's like a 30-second clip. It's not long at all. But yeah, so good, but very heavy. I mean, yeah. So last episode for you, if you like the tear jerkers, man, last episode for you must have been a strong one, because the Orem scene was I those are the two clips I put, was Laudna's scene and Orem's scene. Rain, what's up, Rain? Favorite characters always end up being Sam's characters. He always makes such interesting characters with heart-wrenching backstories. I'm so invested in FCG right now. I love Sam so much. Scanlan is like, that's my spirit animal, because it's so many jokes, incredibly clever, but really an in-depth character. Like, there's so much depth to that character, so much flavor to him, that people kind of forget that because of all the dick jokes. But yeah, Sam is just a genius. He's one of the funniest people alive. Like, I put him up against anyone. He is so clever and so funny, but yet so deep. I love it. I'm right there with you, Rain. It's so good. Just sent you a message to Discord. Sweet, I will check it out. Since I follow all things Critical Role in D&D, your live stream showed up my feed, so naturally click. Well, I'm glad you're here, Christina. Watched it, and I believe it was 58 seconds or something. I thought you could be right. I thought the Orem one was long, and that one was shorter, but, all right, you going to post that for us, Crixie? I'm curious now. I have an awful memory, so I'm not even going to challenge you on anything. I've actually started eating more fish and doing like brain teaser stuff to help with my memory, and hopefully that will help. But, you never know. I'm not that old, but I feel like my memory's going little by little. All right, videos. All right, so the emotional damage video is 112, and then 47 seconds for the Laudna's big reveal. Well, I'm glad you watched them. I hope you liked them. But yeah, those were just two powerful moments. That's what I love about this show. I think most of us do. That you can have a dick joke, and then 2 minutes later have some super powerful moment like that. It's really incredibly unique. I hope we don't miss that. Thanks for posting that, Crixie. Much appreciated. Rain, hi there, but yeah, the fact that Scanlan started out as a joke character, and then the way his story turned, yeah, for sure. I'll catch that this week sometime. The Barthelman episode. I'm actually pretty excited about it now. Have you seen the interview? It was when Sam and Liam were just doing the All Work and No Play podcast, and they were talking about, we're doing, we just did paper and pencil Dungeons and Dragons, and they're talking about their first session with Matt. I put it in the Discord. It is one of my favorite interviews on the face of the planet, because Sam has no idea what D&D is. He almost picked, I want to say it was a cleric, almost, which is funny because now he's playing it. He almost picked a cleric and then went with the bard, and just wanted to be the most, what's one of the most ridiculous races? All right, gnome, great, let's do it. I loved how he created his character, and then, like you said, put real story into it, just let it naturally develop. If I had to choose my favorite character in terms of acting chops, FCG, Laudna, Bertram Bell, Percival, Jester, Fern, Caleb. Really, FCG. See, I love FCG, but I'm still waiting. Like, I've loved his subtleness of his jokes. Like, he's really purposely toned it all back. I'm waiting for something big to happen with FCG. I think there's so much depth there that we haven't even touched and got into. So I'm really waiting for that big reveal. But until that happens, I can't rank him. I like Fern and Chetney better at the moment. Bertrand's in there. Nice. The original podcast of All Work No Play, and yes, I've seen it was great. I'm sure you've seen it, Kristen. You've seen everything. Unsure if Liam jokes but claims he's made 2 of Sam's characters so far. But yeah, he has. I wonder what role he played in this one. I recently just gotten into Critical Role and D&D itself, so I'm also getting caught up on a lot. But I did hear about how Scanlan came to be in love with so much. Yeah, it's great. And if you're new to D&D, come check out my stream on Sunday nights. It's really aimed towards new D&D players. As a DM, I bring in quite a bit of new players, actually. I do a lot of one-shots at like Renaissance fairs and just locally for friends and friends' wives and people who get into Critical Role and then want to check it out, want to try to play it. So Sunday we do a character creation stream, so people kind of figure out and understand how to create a character, not just the technical part of it, but really how to get into the backstories and stuff. And then we're gonna do our first one shot Sunday night. He's a therapist cleric. Yeah, that was his idea. He just told Matt he wanted to be a therapist, right? And he's playing into it and benefiting the people that he gets to actually talk to. So, do you have a particular love for therapists? I've been wanting to get into D&D, so I might hit you. Yeah, please do. Like, I'm actually planning to do or not planning to do. I am starting to record just barrier to entry new player stuff. I don't think it'll get a lot of hits of views, but I want to make it quality and easy for people to get into. So, I've seen a lot of Nerd Lab. Just noticed the name. Well, I'm glad you've seen some. I just started this channel 6 months ago. Well, October. So, do the math. But I've really enjoyed it so far, and we got a lot of plans. Starting to invest some monies and stuff to it. It'll be good. Such a good community. This is such a good community. I'm used to talking to a lot of people in some of my older jobs, but this is legit one of the best. This is the best community I've been a part of. Usually there's a lot of toxicity, and I've seen none of that. I think the worst we've seen, one person said, "Show me your booba," and one person said I looked like a backed potato with a beanie. Those were the only 2 negative/neutral things I've heard in the 6 months I've been streaming. So it's been a lot of fun. You mentioned your Discord, where I can find that. Yeah, I posted it. I'll post it again. Just request an invite, and that's where we're talking about the one stream. Live stream will be just like this, so it'll pop up. But yeah, join the Discord. We have a few people talking in there. We don't talk a ton, but we discuss the important stuff. So if you have notifications on, it won't blow up your phone or anything. I have faith in your channel. Hope it goes. Hey, thank you very much, Christina. I have faith in it too. I've kind of wanted to do this for a while, and I'm going all in. So I believe that as long as I pursue it, am honest, and stay true to myself, don't try to be anybody else, I think it'll do well. I enjoy it. I'm somewhat doing a service and having fun at the same time. So, and then covering something I love, which is Critical Role and Dungeons and Dragons. I bounce back and forth. Dungeons and Dragons usually is my favorite hobby, favorite game to play. I do like Magic the Gathering as well. Lots of fun. Another solid community. And the lore is really good in Magic, and both produced by Wizard of the Coast. So figure that one out. But I appreciate the encouraging words. All right. People are starting to taper off here, so I think are they doing a restream here soon? I don't know what the Stephen Colbert one. The first Stephen Colbert one was pretty good. I wonder if that one's going to be good. But it looks like they're doing another Critical Role with Stephen Colbert. But well, anyway, I appreciate you guys showing up. Like I said, join the Discord. I'll go ahead and check my invites and messages real quick. Invite people to the Roll20 channel or the Nerd Lab channel, and yeah, we'll call it a day. Let me do that real quick while we're on here, so if anyone has any questions before we go. All right, Rain, we got you added. Funny side note: I played one game of D&D as a teen, and 20 years later, found Critical Role and renewed the long lost love for wanting to play. Never got to see. I went full DM mode and bought tons of books. So you were like me then. So you played like a couple games and then just started DMing. How long you been DMing? I'll show you a really cool tool if you don't use. Do you DM in person, or I guess it works either way, or online? All right, so I need to add Rain, Line Salt. All right, anyone else who doesn't have an invite yet, let me know to the Roll20 channel. But okay, invite sent. Let me show you. I can't show you on here because all my stuff for the campaign's on there. Incarnate is my favorite map builder. It is so stinking good. It's where I made. I can pull up that one map, I guess. 1 second. Oh, I won't bring up on this monitor. I've never DM'd, but chose to because nobody would ever open up a group to let me join. I'm in the process of building. Okay, I got you. Well, join us for the one shot. I am very happy to help any new DMs as well. I'm currently helping somebody DM a campaign, a home campaign. But so yeah, I have a decent amount of experience helping newer DMs get started. So yeah, Incarnate. All right, I'll pull it up. Let me pull up. I have to just incarnate.com. The free version's fine. It has actually some decent like paper stuff, but the paid version's like $25 a year. It's not super expensive, and well worth it if you're DMing. Like well worth it. I ask my players to like pitch in a little bit on my resources, and they have so far, and it's been great. This is where all my D&D Beyond resources come from. All right, let me bring this over. All right, so here's a version of the big maps that you can do, but then you can also do. I don't want to. The only ones I've made I'm using on Sunday, so I don't want to bring them up yet. But you can also do like a map of a tavern or a mage tower or whatever that you can build as well. But here's a version of the maps you build. This didn't take me super long. It doesn't take a lot of skill or artistic ability whatsoever. Yeah, Tope, check this. This one is awesome. Do you DM Tope? I've I haven't watched a lot of your videos. I need to go over there and check them out. I'm a bad subscriber. My first ever game last 30 minutes due to toxic DM who TPK'd our party. Well, that's nice due to laughing loud and chatting too much on the first few minutes in the game. That's why I have like 30 minutes before my games where we kind of get that all out. But I mean, that's the best part. You're there to hang out and have fun. Basically, you had a Cobalt. What? Do what? Cobalt one shot our horse and carriage into the air out into the forest game and ended immediately. But those few minutes just got me hooked. That's I don't know what that says, but that's great. I love it. Yeah, well, I mean, if you want to join, you too, Rain. If you want to join one of the one shots, I'm streaming them, but I mean, I'd be up to um, do one or a couple off stream if people aren't comfortable talking on stream. But uh, but yeah, I mean, feel free to join one of our one shots. I plan to do it every month if it goes well. I think it'll go well. I think it'll be fun. DM in a home game, but I want to DM on Roll20 for some content. Hey, if you want to do one of the DMs for one of us, man, go for it. But yeah, Roll20 is great. Home games are much better. There's something about being in person with people, but when I moved to Vegas a couple years ago and couldn't see my friends in person, so I started doing it on Roll20. It was still good. It's still solid. I do have 5 characters built, waiting on D&D Beyond. Yeah, I figured creating characters is fun. That's why I started doing that stream. I was creating them anyway, so I'm like, you know what? Let's just post this up there while we're doing it, and we get a healthy group of people coming in, and I let them roll for stats, roll for the backgrounds. We've come up with some really fun characters. So, but I was just making a bunch of characters because when I introduce new players, they don't want to go through the character making process. They'd rather pick one out and try it, and before they really get invested. So, uh, OG, I would like to join a regular D&D game, weekly or bi-weekly. Well, that's kind of the goal. And since Critical Role came out with their new module, if the one shots go well, I figured we could discuss doing going through the module. I don't see why that would be a problem. Like, I'm not as good at doing modules, but I'll do them. They're fine. Wanted to play D&D for a bit now, but I chickened out and joined a group because I was very insecure. But I get over that. Well, D&D is really good for that, Rain. Like, I've seen a lot of people come out of their shell because of it. One, it's like putting on a mask. Like, you get to be somebody else. So anything they don't like about their character, they don't necessarily not like about you. Like, it's I think it's a really healthy game to play for that kind of stuff. So I'd encourage it. I'd actually really like to start doing it for veterans. I have a history with helping people with PTSD, and I think there's a lot of science coming out that role playing helps with a lot of mental issues like that too, not just uh, basic insecurity and stuff. So I'd highly recommend it. I have 3 characters made, or at least the idea for some, because I don't know exactly how to create. Character creation completely works. Well, that's why I was doing the character creation streams. I'm gonna do like a shorter, 10-minute version of basic character creation for people that don't want to watch my hour streams. Like, I do, those streams are like an hour or two, just because we're messing around the whole time, and we'll create 2 or 3 characters. But that's just because we're kind of having fun. But I'll do a short 10-minute version video soon. We're going to just break down the player's handbook first, and then we're going to do the short version. You know, my characters I made, backstories, built them, fleshed out for campaign, location, and expansion. Yeah, I just think it's a lot of fun creating characters. Like in video games, I'll spend most of my time in the character creation section and thinking up their backstories and stuff. So, I mean, if you ever DM, yeah, you just use them as NPCs. That's kind of the justification. Some of these I may play sometime, but if not, then I got some kind of cool fleshed out NPCs that I can play. I wonder if Matt had a lot of his characters were NPCs that he'd played or planned to play, and then just started DMing. I have no experience, but it was 30 minutes playing D&D, but now I have 6 years of studying, learning the game's rules, so I feel like veteran. Yeah, well, Critical Role is really good at just letting you see how stuff works, how role playing works, how combat works. So you can come into it, you'll be fine. You really just need a decent DM with some patience that is that you can ask questions to, because I've been watching Critical Role forever and playing it as long as I've been watching it, and I still have run into a ton of questions. And you'll see when I DM, I'm gonna ask questions. I'll ask the chat questions that I don't know. I'll ask OG Night Haunter. I'll ask him some questions because I've read through the books like once, but I don't remember everything. Join a new group. If everyone says yes to me streaming it, I'll be starting this Saturday night. Nice. Episode 1 called the Nether Deep. Should be fun. So are you doing the Call the Nether Deep? Should be fun. I'm playing a Kobold Divine Soul Sorcerer. Yeah, if you stream it, man, I will definitely be watching that. I'd ask to join if my Saturdays weren't always busy. Saturdays are my Magic the Gathering night, so that's when I do my other nerd hobby. I want to get into cosplay as well, but I do a little bit of cosplay for the Ren Fair, but that's it. Don't remember everything, but I retain a lot of info over the years. What's up, William Little? Once per day when using a sorcerer point, Laura can choose to roll on the wild. Okay, once per day. Gotcha. See, thank you. See, I remember them saying that now that you said it, but I totally forgot that was the deal. Got from the Pink Stone, that was from the bunny they chased. That's such a weird thing to put, but that's random on his table. That's something I got to start doing more, is creating those random encounter tables. I usually have my encounters planned out. The one shot, I'll have everything planned out because you kind of have to railroad for one shots. For me, I'll get frowsy because I have really ambitious ideas for characters, but I'm new to D&D, so I don't know the rules, and also I don't know how much the world DM builds can influence a character. So, right with me, I like my characters to tell me their backstory and their ambitions, and that's the fuel for my story, man. That's where I get, like, I put that into the story, and because you're like 6 people's ideas versus one person's idea. The 6 are gonna have better ideas than the one, like, every time. So let me take your good ideas and put it into part of the story. Matt does the same thing. Like, you saw it very heavily in Campaign 2. Campaign 1, not as much. Campaign 2, most of the things they were doing, they were exploring different people's, Yasha's backstory, Caleb's backstory. So it seemed natural and made sense. Bo's backstory was good stuff. Ford's backstory was good stuff. So, yeah, I mean, just get some experience playing. Like I said, I'm happy to do some one shots. I have tons of ideas. I went in depth for this one, but now that I've got kind of the map maker down, I don't mind running a couple more. Sometimes an advantage and sometimes not so much. Yeah. My biggest fear of running a game in the future is building the history and lore, but for a story, since I learned to homebrew, I got that on lock. being that I'm highly imaginative and story driven. Well, that's awesome. I think that I made this world, well, this section of the world. I haven't even flushed out the rest of the world yet. I made this section of the world over like a year period. So every little city, like this island right here, this is where all the half orcs are. They were enslaved on another continent and being shipped up to Sherivan when Cord, one of the half orcs, was praying to Cord, and Cord gave him a weapon, a godly weapon, and he used that to slay all the slavers, kill all the slavers. But since none of them knew how to drive a ship, sail a ship, they ended up crashing into this island and built their home there. And so, like, every little town has some sort of meaning, some sort of history to it, and that helps characters build who they're, okay, I want to play a half orc. All right, well, here's where you're from. Here's the history of your people. Now create your character. It really helps having a fleshed out world. I think Harry Potter is one of the best series because of the world more than the story that's being told. The story's fine. The story is what it is. I mean, she's amazing at writing and making you feel that way, but the world is so immersive. It's great. Yeah, Night Hunter is exactly right. Good DM will make certain allowances. Really, yeah, good DM will be patient with you and help build with it too. That's just my opinion. Let's get some hype for Sunday night. I get to play a character with 5 charisma. Yeah, it's gonna be fun, man. I'm excited. I'm excited. I'm a little nervous, but I'm excited. I think it's gonna be a lot of fun. Keep trying to remind myself to let the players guide the story and build history around it. Yeah. So, Christina, from my experience, you want to have a story in place, but it needs to be loose enough to let them influence it. It's a structure, right? You need to have the bones, you need to have the skeleton of the story, and let them fill everything else in. And if they want to go off somewhere else and do something, let them do it. If they'll get tired, and they'll come back to your story eventually. Even Matt Mercer had to kick players' butts every now and then to keep them moving. Yeah, I mean it happens. You just punish them if they go too far. Is this like the Cord similar to in campaign 1 with Grog and Titanstone Knuckles? Cord is the god of war and something else in Forgotten Realms, but so he's a god in I just took Forgotten Realms gods, changed him a little bit, so he's over storms and war in mine, kind of an elemental thing. All the respect in the world for DMs building a whole world full of stories and characters to meet with backgrounds that to tell can't be easy. What's it like? So with this island right here, my person or my player who is going to be the half orc, he helped me come up with his history and his story, and I made that part of the story of the island. Like it's free work. They're going to do it anyway. Like, why not let them help you? It makes no sense to me to be so controlling and want to make everything yourself when you have players who want to do the same thing. Bring them in. Let them. People have good ideas. Like, it makes the world more natural because our world has so many different cultures with so many different people that have created it. Why would you want a world that was just created by one person when you could have a world created by 6 or 7? But I accept your respect. I really enjoy creating worlds. Like, there's fun stories behind all these places that my players haven't even gotten into yet, and that's what I like. I want them to go there and figure some of this stuff out, but yeah, you just gotta let them go. And then when this campaign's over, the stuff they haven't touched on, I'll start them at. Like, I doubt my players are gonna go to Mithril Canyon, but I have some really fun stuff there. And if they don't go there, then oh well. We'll start them there on the next campaign. Also, good DM will throw at you NPCs you'll never forget. Yeah, creating NPCs is very interesting. I actually might do one of our creative sessions as a. What's up, Charles Garza? Garza, good to see you, man. Were you here earlier in the session? But yeah, creating NPCs again. My so I made an evil NPC based off of Joel Osteen, and it was just a throwaway character. He became the main threat and the most hated character, most talked about character for the first. Our campaign just hit a year, and for the entire year, they have just hated him so much. It was just kind of throwaway character. So sometimes you get lucky. Sometimes you create really cool characters that have really in-depth stories that people like too, and those usually come from players or characters I wanted to play. But yeah, old Joesting, that was his name. He was a priest for an occult for a cult. Is there a history to the massive crack in the mainland on this map you're showing? Yeah, so the crack, so Shar, who's the god of chaos, took the main city, so there's like basically Mount Olympus, the city of the gods, and elevated it, which is a 10th level spell, but for a god that's nothing, and was trying to basically send it into another plane, send it into space. And so you can see here there's chains that tie it down. So the other gods chained it down before anything. So now all the gods live on this city, and it's kind of it's not where you die and go. It's where if you're good enough on Earth, they'll bring you up to their Mount Olympus, basically. But then this chasm kind of became Hades. I went with a little more Greco-Roman style of history here. So the chasm kind of became Hades, and now once he lifted this city out of the ground, all these giant monsters from different realms. So giant fire elementals or dragons or whatever started coming out of this crack and attacking all the cities, and that's kind of the basis for the backdrop for the entire story. Is they're monster hunters that are stopping these monsters from destroying all the towns. And the god of chaos is doing it because he can now. I DM'd a game for 3 years, and I had an orc blacksmith named Gnarl, Iron Fist, a master craftsman NPC, and today still some of my friends say he was one of the best NPCs. That's awesome. I think that's so cool when you can come up with that character. You don't, when you're making it, you never really know. So when you made that character, did you know that he was going to be good? Or it just kind of naturally happened that way? We should have a chat NPC vote on design and characteristics for your campaign. I think that's smart. I like that idea. Similar to Critical Role and how Orly the Turtle in Campaign 2 or Critical Role came to be. I think that's a smart idea because we're starting to run out of classes to build anyway. So I think it'd be fun to do an NPC build. Get some good ideas from everyone else because, like I said, everyone else is. I'm creative enough, and I'm very solid and confident in my creativity, but it's nothing compared to a chat room of 20 people who can come up with really cool stuff. What's your opinion on people taking other people's old player characters and using them in their story, like how a lot of the Campaign 3 characters have a connection to Vox Machina? I love it because it creates natural backstory that you already know. So there's something big in storytelling and in games, just general game creation, called piggybacking. So anyone knows anything about piggybacking, you are taking something that somebody already knows and adopting that familiarity so that it's easier for the brain to conceptualize. So I think it's piggybacking, and it's incredibly smart. They say any story or game that you want to be successful, you need to have a lot of piggybacking. So I'm all for it. I think it's great. because introducing brand new ideas all the time is going to really bog down a lot of players. So piggybacking super smart. And because there's already emotion. It's not just the vision of it. The emotion's already there. And if you can start making people feel in your game, then you've done what you're supposed to do. In fact, for any DM out there, one of the big advice or big words of advice that some of the best DMs I've seen have said, when you're describing a new place like a cave, don't describe what the cave looks like. Describe what it feels like. Describe through the senses. So what it smells like. It's cold. It's damp, and there's a smell of mildew. Now you're feeling the sensories of the cave instead of, oh, it's a gray cave with stalactites and stalagmites, and it's 20 feet by 30 feet, and that's visual, but you're not getting feeling. Once you get your players feeling something in your story, then you really got them, and you really the game gets really good then. Kind of like the latest session of The Witcher, monsters coming from other planes. Yeah, so there's a heavy Witcher influence in that. There is more of it started with the Greco-Roman, but then I was also reading through the Witcher books, and so I liked that idea as well. But yeah, heavy Witcher vibes going on there. Less dark though, little lighter, little more high fantasy. But then darker creatures will come out, so you get the darker creatures coming out. So there's good battles to be had, but at the same, and it makes sense when you're fighting some big monster creature. But you can still be in a nice light world that's nice to be in, because you want to care about the world, have it be light and nice, so that you're trying to save it. If you're gonna save a world, it needs to be a world you enjoy, right? I don't know if it's different from or for Critical Role crew, because those are their old characters, so I don't know if it would translate as well from someone who didn't play that campaign. I think if they saw it enough, it would. Not as much, but I have loved Laudna's backstory, because she just has to mention a little bit. She just has to name her pet rat Derolo. Give him that last name, Pate Derolo. And there's already stuff that floods in for anyone who loved that storyline, loved the Briarwood storyline. And then with them doing the Legend of Vox Machina, then it made more sense to even more people and brought in even more feels. So I thought it was super smart, and I think it works whether you've played it or just watched it. No, but I gave him a lisp on purpose. That's super smart. I'll tell you why in a second. And it took the players about 2 months to figure out he was quite an intelligent NPC. Build your characters through flaws. Same thing with NPC. The most memorable, if you make your character or an NPC super strong, no one really cares. Super smart. That's fine. Build them through their flaws. I built a character that was an amputee. That was super memorable to people, because you don't run into amputees in D&D that often. So it was something different. So it made him memorable. If you want a memorable character or a memorable NPC, build around their flaws. He had a very low dexterity. He had a 4 or 5 dexterity. So it was -3. And I was like, how am I going to play off this soldier with a -3 dexterity? Well, he's an amputee. It's hard for him. He uses his hammer as a crutch. Super memorable. People loved it. So that's my word of advice when you're building characters or NPCs. But I think it's brilliant. But with a lisp, you don't run into people with a lisp. There's going to be someone in the one shot with the back lisp. This one right here. And I was building it for that same reason. 3 a.m. here, and I need to before work. Good night. Thanks for staying up and chatting. I'm the same way. It's 2 o'clock for me, so I'm right there with you. But I appreciate the talk. It was great. So if this gets re-uploaded, we'll catch up then. Take care. Best wishes. I appreciate it. It will get re-uploaded. set the tone. Critical Role just started a rerun. I don't know if you were waiting for that. I know some people like to watch that again, or some people are catching this before, so that's why I was checking on. I appreciate it, though. Bingo. Nora was a mastersmith, but had charisma of 7. Yeah, so you got to play that. Why is his charisma 7? Well, maybe he has a stutter, maybe a lisp. Go Moses with it. I like it. Before I leave, Laudna is playing as the half of Vex's body double hung from the sun tree, hence Derolo's name drop, hence the tears. Have a good night. Yes, that is we agree with you there. What's happening here? What's up, Katie Ladybug? Good to see you again. We're just talking about the one shot we're doing Sunday, and then general building of NPCs and player characters. Lisp in a pretty bad temper. Well, I think that's great. I'm building a character right now that I hope to play soon who has a Napoleon complex. So that temper comes with an insecurity, and I think it's going to be a great character. I'm super excited to play it. Yeah, I mean, bad temper goes with the orcness. All right. Well, I hate to cut it off when Katie just comes in here, Ladybug just comes in here. Fun note, my daughter's name is Lydia, and we called her Ladybug for the first 5 years of her life. In fact, I painted her room with a big white, so a teal background, big white tree, red leaves, and ladybugs everywhere. It's still my favorite room I've painted. But anyway, I should go to bed. It's 2:00 for me. I guess I'll see you guys Sunday 8:30. And like I said, we're over 1,000 subs, so that's super awesome. I'm very excited about it. The channel is moving. I got a lot of content that we're recording right now. Appreciate you guys' support. I really do. Yeah, I'm excited to see your cleric, man. Good night, everyone. We'll see you Sunday. And those of you who don't come Sunday, we'll see you Thursday. Oh, wait, this Thursday is EXU. I haven't decided if I'm streaming EXU or not. I'll let you guys know Sunday if I'm streaming EXU or not. Peace out.